विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलन वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Verse 247. दशमोऽपि शिरस्ताडं रुदन् बुद्ध्वा नरोदिति शिरोव्रणस्तु मासेन शनैः शाम्यति नो तदा. So in this verses between 223 to 250 we are talking about the Jnana Phalam, Atma Jnana Phalam. And Atma Jnana Phalam has been described in two manners here in this chapter. One is a Shoka Nivrutti, freedom from sorrow, freedom from Anujvara. And the second Jnana Phalam is Trupti Prapti, that he is going to talk about it after verse 250. And and here he, especially from verse 245 onwards, he is talking about this Viparita Bhavana. Even though Viparita Bhavana is there, Jnana Phalam is there. Amazing. Amazing. Viparita Bhavana is there, then Jnana Phalam is not there. No. Viparita Bhavana, Dehatma Bhavana is there, and yet Jnana Phalam is there. Shoka Nivrutti is there. That's Vidyaranya. So, and therefore today we are going to feel more relaxation now after the class. So, so every Vedantic student, what is this Viparita Bhavana? Every Vedantic student faces that mistaken, he mistakes himself as a body, mind, etc. He identifies with this all relative roles and reacts. So this wrong identification and wrong response based on the wrong identification is called Viparita Bhavana. And this issue is very common. Student has to find basically his or her methods of handling this issue. But important point is Viparita Bhavana can never be a threat to one's moksha or jnana. Viparita Bhavana is issue to be handled, of course, but no threat to jnana. Reason is moksha. Two things are there. One reason is moksha happens to be my swarupa, and nature of thing cannot be changed by any force, including God, because what cannot be altered by any force is a moksha. And therefore, even God cannot threaten moksha. That's how the Upanishad says, Tasyaha bhutya na devahaschana tasyaha na devaha abhutya na ishyate. So that's kind of a statement. I'm little vague about it, so don't take it so seriously. But Upanishad says that even God cannot threaten moksha. So this is one thing. Atma, which is free, which is in the form of a moksha, cannot be threatened by the Viparita Bhavana. Simple. Then Atma Jnanam also cannot be threatened by Viparita Bhavana. That's another thing. So, both the things are there. Because Jnanam is also understanding based on the nature of a thing. So, Jnanam is always in keeping with the nature of a thing. Then that is called Jnanam. In keeping with the Vastu, nature of the Vastu. Jnanam is always. And therefore, Jnanam also, well, is of this type that I am ever free. So, that Jnanam, Atma Jnanam also cannot be threatened by Viparit Bhavana that I am bound. So, Vedantic student should be relaxed. For that, he gives an example. Because this thing you may feel, oh, this is not correct. So he gave an example. We started also, we understood also. And the example is the 10th man, did not know that I am 10th. And so grief was there. By listening to an appropriate guide, etc., he got this knowledge that I am 10th. And this fact now is known by him that I am 10th. Still that bump is there, right? Born of when ignorance of the 10th man was there, he hit his head to the floor or to the trunk of the tree, and now he has that bump also. So now, so bump is there, and even means after the knowledge, even after knowledge that I am 10th man, still bump is there. So imagine that while dealing with the bump, the pain occurs, suppose, and he cries. Even when he cries, that doesn't threaten the basic fact that he is a 10th. That doesn't threaten the knowledge he has that I am 10th. Both are not threatened. The fact he is a 10th, that is not threatened by the crying of the pain or due to bump. And his knowledge that I am 10th is also not threatened by that pain of the bump or crying due to bump, pain of the bump. There are two types of crying, that one is a first crying is we call it as a primary grief because of the loss of 10th man due to ignorance. He cried. That is the first crying. And now, he is crying due to pain of the bump. But now he has a knowledge. So, now the second crying due to the pain of the bump cannot revive the original pain. Which pain? 10th man is lost. That original pain will not revive due to crying of this pain of the bump. Could you follow what I am saying or not? Anyway, I hope you will understand in course of time. So, 10th man is lost. How will I answer his parents? That grief again will not come. Even he is crying. He has a grief. This is a secondary grief. Secondary grief, born of pain of that bump. When he is doing and crying, still he has the knowledge, I am 10th. That ignorance, and born of that ignorance, that notion, 10th man is lost. Swamiji, due to that pain of the bump, that knowledge has gone that I am 10th, and now he has again become ignorant of the 10th man. That will not happen. That will not happen. Even he is crying. He has a grief, but that grief is born of the pain of the bump. That this grief is not born of the so-called loss of 10th man. It's not there. Please understand this very well. Similarly, so Vidyaranya says, just as the pain of bump is never threat to the fact I am 10th, pain of the bump is never threat to the knowledge of the fact that I am 10th. Clear? Is it clear? I hope it is clear to you. Similarly, for Vedantic student, because of the Prarabdhajanya Viparita Bhavana, why Prarabdhajanya Viparita Bhavana? Why we are using so big expression? Because, see, this vasana in this body, Dehatma Buddhi, is a vasana. Viparita Bhavana is a vasana. And that is Prarabdhajanya. Prarabdha has brought the body. And this is from Anadikala, he was getting the body and had a Viparita, had a Dehatma Buddhi also in whatever the body he gains. So this Dehatma Buddhi, which is called Viparita Bhavana, is a Prarabdhajanya Vasana. So this Prarabdha Vasana, well, due to that, well, this secondary grief may take place, right? Secondary grief means this Viparita Bhavana, I am limited, etc. But that cannot threaten the basic fact. What is the basic fact? That I am free from the body, mind, sense complex, or the knowledge of the fact that I am ever free. So the basic fact is I am ever free, free from the pain of the body and the body also. Jvara. All the three bodies, the limitations born of the sense of limitation born of the identification with these three bodies. So bodies are limited. Bodies have their own jvaras. But I identify with that. And then Anujvara comes. Right? And therefore, well, even that is there. Suppose that Viparita Bhavana arises that I am body, etc. And a Anujvara can come. That Anujvara, that grief, that secondary grief will not alter the fact that I am ever free. I am free from the limitations. That is the fact. I am Nitya Mukta. And the knowledge also he has that I am ever free. Both the things, the fact and the knowledge of the fact regarding the self, cannot be threatened by this secondary grief born of this Viparita Bhavana. Which Viparita Bhavana? I am body, etc. So basically, this moksha is not a conditional status maintained by this following a certain do's and don'ts, etc. Moksha is not falsified by the violation of do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts here means Viparita Bhavana, etc. Even other do's and don'ts also. Swamiji, I in really speaking, this amanitam, adambitam, ahimsa, kshanti, etc. is there, but really I don't have that. Or I have, but it is not in a good measure. I used to pretend. And I have a sense of demanding respect from others, etc. And therefore I am not have a moksha, etc. No do's and don'ts basically can threaten the fact that you are ever free. And suppose you have knowledge that I am ever free, well, that also cannot be threatened by this Viparita Bhavana. Or the other Viparita Bhavana we have, that I am body, mind, sense complex. And born of that you have a sense of a pride, you have a sense of a pretendance, etc. Well, that also will not alter this fact, nor your knowledge of the fact. So, Viparita Bhavana they are to be handled, that is okay. But don't press the panic button. So, to convey the idea, Vidyaranya says, Jivan Mukti basically is not a vratam. You are free when you are alive is a fact. So, and they give another example also, that by, suppose our cricket team, Indian cricket team, they are visiting Australia or something, and they have a series of matches. And generally they play 5 matches. Out of that, if you want to win the series, well, you have to win at least 3, naturally, out of 5. And then if you win the 3 matches, you have won the series. Still, when you play the 4th match, you may well have that expectation that we would let's win this match. But suppose you are losing the match. Now that loss of this 4th match is in no way threat to the victory of your series. Could you follow what I'm saying? You are losing the fourth match. You are feeling that we are going to lose now. But that loss of the fourth match, the very possibility of the loss of the fourth match, or the losing the fourth match, is in no way threat to your victory of the whole series. In same way, I am ever free fact. Now I know that I am ever free. That knowledge and the fact and the knowledge of that fact, both cannot be threatened by the Viparita Bhavana that I am Deha, etc. So, Viparita Bhavana won't take away life's victory, gained through Shravanam. So that's how he says, Idam Jivan Mukti Vratam na bhavati. Vratam means a condition. Jivan Mukti, well, Swamiji, sometime during a day I feel that I am body, I am mind, and my response also. Then therefore my mukti, there is no mukti for me. No, Idan Jivan Mukti Vratam Navati, for that means it is not a condition. Your Jivan Mukti is not a condition. We are going to discuss, don't worry. So this is not any kind of a Viparita Bhavana, which is not a condition to your knowledge of the fact and the fact, both. So and that's very beautiful example is this example of our bump of a 10th man. That is a very wonderful example. So let's see verse number 248. Dashamamritilabhena jato harsho vranavyatham tirodhatte muktilabha tatha prarabdha dukkhitam. So before gaining the knowledge, this person was grieving for 10th man. It was caused by ajnana, primary grief. This is called samsara. Samsara is a primary grief. Understand this. The 10th man, before gaining the knowledge of 10th man, he was grieving that 10th man is lost. What answer I will give to his parents? All this and the grief, crying, etc. is a primary grief. Samsara. And that goes when he knows now the fact that I am 10th. So I need not worry about now loss of a 10th man. But Viparita Bhavana Janya Dukkham, that Viparita Bhavana, 10th man is lost, I am not 10th man, etc. That Viparita Bhavana. Due to that, he hit his head on the floor or on the trunk. That bump, that bump is there, and pain due to bump, secondary grief now, is still there. Clear? Is it clear? So that Viparita Bhavana Janya Dukkham, called pain of the bump, is there. Primary grief has gone. That 10th man is lost. That is, and the grief born of 10th man is lost. What answer I will give to his parents, etc. That grief has gone. Primary grief has gone. Still the secondary grief, born of Viparita Bhavana Janyam. 10th man is lost and he hit the head and now bump is there. That is giving pain. That grief is there still. I hope you are understanding. And so is secondary grief. That secondary grief is weak. It is always weak. Why? Because there is a relaxation born out of solving the primary grief. What was the grief? 10th man is lost. He was crying. That is gone. In that, basically, there is a relaxation now born of solving the primary grief. And it is so deep that, that relaxation, that it overpowers the superficial pain, the secondary grief, born of the pain of the bump. Right? Born of the pain of the bump. Deeper Shanti caused that I am caused by that I am 10th man will overpower the pain of the bump. Pain of the bump has arisen due to Viparita Bhavana. What is Viparita Bhavana? 10th man is lost. That Viparita Bhavana has ultimately resulted into the bump because of hitting the head, and now pain due to bump is there, secondary grief is there, but it is overpowered by the solving the primary grief. That 10th man is lost. That primary grief is not there. The fact was, I am 10th, and he gained knowledge from the guide that I am 10th. Both cannot be threatened by this pain of the bump, secondary grief. Hush, I am feeling relaxed because it seems that you have understood. So, Harshaha. So, when you please understand, Swamiji, I am not able to do Nidithyasana. So, there's a lot of people. If you have a knowledge that I am free, that knowledge itself is not threatened by this Viparita Bhavana and the grief born of that. Grief born of this Viparita Bhavana is called Anujvara. Viparita Bhavana is I am the body mind sense complex that gives rise to the Viparita, the grief, secondary grief, like a bump. You have gained the knowledge of the fact. What is fact? I am ever free. You have knowledge now. I am ever free. Still, Prarabdha brings this Viparita Bhavana again and again that I am the body. And the grief arises due to that. Even that grief is overpowered by your knowledge that I am ever free. So, Harsha means deeper Shanti, deeper relaxation, deeper fulfillment. Jataha, born of what? Dashama Amruti Labhena. By gaining the knowledge of that the 10th man, Dashama Amruti, by gaining the knowledge that the 10th man is not dead, 10th man is alive, by gaining the knowledge of the 10th man, well, he has gained the relaxation. Well, that relaxation of the knowing the fact that 10th man is alive, and I am 10th man, Tirodhatte, overpowers, Vranavyatham. Vranavyatham. This Vranam means this bump or wound. Vyatham. Well, this superficial pain caused by the bump or wound is overpowered by that deeper Shanti or relaxation born of Dashama Amriti Labhena, by the knowledge of that gaining of the 10th man, and then that deeper relaxation is there. The 10th man is not lost. I have not to answer anybody's parents. I have to answer myself, etc. I have to answer myself. I have not to answer anybody. I am not answerable to anybody. I am a leader of the whole group, and 10th man is not drowned. Nothing has happened. In that relaxation, that bump of the pain of that bump is overpowered. Hush. I am also having relaxation. So, when there was a possibility of a death, I will give you another example. This is better. Suppose you are walking on the road, and suddenly a vehicle comes and hits you. This is just an example. Hits you, and you are thrown on the side of the road. But you are hit in such a way which has not taken your life. So when there was actually a possibility of a death, and still I have a close shave to the death, and I am saved. But due to heat of the vehicle, I got a fracture, suppose, and there is a pain. That pain of the fracture is overpowered by what? I could have gone. I am saved. So pain is there due to fracture, but still that pain is overpowered by the joy of saving your life. We can say Jivan Labhena Vranavyatham Tirodate. Jivan Labhena, by gaining the life, by saving the life. Vranavyatham, Vranam, fracture, Vyatham, pain. Pain of the fracture, well, Tirodate is overpowered by this Jivan Labhena, by saving my life. That is there. Same way, Mukti Labha, well, Mukti Labha. Mukti Labha means I gain Mukti in terms of knowledge. I understood I am free. That is a fact, I am free. And I gain knowledge that I am free. Well, that basically is, that overpowers what? Prarabdha Dukkhitam. Well, that overpowers the disturbance caused by Prarabdha Janya Vasana or Viparita Bhavana, either. Same thing, Viparita Bhavana means Prarabdha Janya Vasana, means Dehatma Bhavana. So, that overpowers that. Attainment of the Mukti through Jnanam. Mukti Labha means you have to understand, you have to put one word. Mukti Labha, or later you can put, by knowledge. Well, is like an that 10th Eggman example is really wonderful. So, Dashama Labha, Dashama Amruti Labha, by knowledge that I am 10th. Same way here. So, this is how, and therefore, any kind of a rule, if, I have to do Nididhyasanam, I have to do Nididhyasanam, otherwise Mukti will not be there. No rule. Even Nididhyasanam is also not rule to follow. No Pratyavaya Papa Phalam, etc. Something, well, if some kind of a Papa arises, my Mukti will go away. Bhagavan will take away my Mukti. No. Nobody will take away your Mukti. So Bhagavan also did not say so. So don't feel sorry, don't worry. And, well, knowledge, of course, your knowledge is never threatened. So relaxation, my God. 249. Vratabhavadyadadhyasah tada bhuyo vivichitam rasasevi dine bhungte bhuyo yatha tatha. Vidyaranya says, relax. Gain knowledge. That's it. After gaining knowledge, Viparita Bhavana comes. Doesn't matter. Why? Viparita Bhavana is Adhyasa. Is it Adhyasa or not? I am Deha is Adhyasa or not? Adhyasa is always weaker. Because it is based on Mithyavastu. Adhyasa is always, if it is not based on Mithyavastu but Satyavastu, you have a knowledge of a thing as it is, the Vastu. It is not Adhyasa. Rajju is there and you have a knowledge that it is Rajju. It is not Adhyasa. But Rajju is there and you say it is a snake. That is Adhyasa. And that snake is what? Mithyavastu. Sarpa Adhyasa is based on Mithya Sarpa. And so he says, well, Adhyasa or Viparita Bhavana is based on Mithyavastu and therefore it is not strong enough. Mithya is never strong. Jnanam is based on Satyavastu and therefore strong. Jnanam is always in keeping with the Vastu. As the Vastu is, so the knowledge is. That alone is called Jnanam, which is always in keeping with the Vastu. And therefore it is strong. You cannot deny it. Satyavastu. And therefore Adhyasa compare or Viparita Bhavana, well, is always weak compared to the knowledge. And therefore Viparita Bhavana can be brushed aside. So handle it. You handle your Adhyasa or Viparita Bhavana, but don't panic. Because it is mithya. The jnanam is mithya. Vastu is also mithya. What? Deha etc. mithya. I am deha, that knowledge etc. also is mithya. It's adhyasa. It is always mithya. Mithya is always weak. You hold on to that. You, by complaining, Swamiji, this Viparita Bhavana does not go. This Viparita Bhavana does not go. This Viparita Bhavana does not. Oh, sir, it is Adhyasa. Adhyasa is weaker compared to your knowledge that I am Brahman, I am free. And therefore, it is you can brush aside. You hold on to that. Instead of brushing aside, you hold on to that. And therefore, you handle it, but don't panic. Vrata abhavat. Since this Jivan Mukti and this Videha Mukti etc. is not vratam, is not a condition, even Videha Mukti strictly speaking not going to happen in future, really. I will explain you. Videha Mukti also is not going to happen in future. According to Vedanta, I am Nitya Videha. No Deha Sambandha is there. And therefore, well, I will be ever free from Deha after Prarabdha is over. That is also, that itself is a Brahma. I am right now has some association with the Deha, and after Prarabdha is over, this body will fall. I will really become free from Deha. Videha Mukti is also a Brahma. I am right now free from all the three Dehas is a knowledge. And therefore, because I am Asanga, not connected to anything, because that's my nature. Sthula Sharira has a sambandha with the Sukshma Sharira. Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira sambandha was not there before birth. Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira sambandha will not be there after the death. But I, the self, has no sambandha with a Sthula Sukshma both ever. I had no sambandha in the past with all the three bodies. I have no sambandha right now with the three bodies. I will not have any sambandha with the three bodies in future also. This is the knowledge. I am Nitya Videha. Anyway, so Videha Mukti also at the end of Prarabdha is only a superficial teaching for the sake of Ajnani. Teaching is meant for the person who is ignorant. Teaching means Jnanam. Jnanam is meant for one who is ignorant. That is how in Aparokshanubhuti it is said, Ajnani jana bodhartham prarabdham vakti shrutihi. Ajnani jana bodhartham. For this knowledge, for the, Ajnani jana bodhartham, for the sake of giving knowledge to this Ajnani jana, to the ignorant person? Well, we have brought the idea of prarabdham. Prarabdham vakti shruti. Shruti talks about a prarabdha. Well, the prarabdha is there at the time this jnani has a jivan mukti. When prarabdha is over, we will have a videha mukti. All this from the standpoint of a ajnani. Ajnani considers that I am having a prarabdha. I am deha, I am having a prarabdha. So we will say, well, even when your prarabdha is there, you will be free while living jivan mukti. And when your body falls, prarabdha is over, you will be free from the body saver, videha mukti. All this is from the standpoint of ajnanam. Really, jivan mukti and videha mukti are simultaneous. When you know that I am free from the body, I was free, I had no connection to the mithya. Body cannot be there. They are just mithya things. They are just appearance of me due to Maya. They exist on account of me. They are non-separate right now from me. They exist on account of me. And they will resolve in me. They will have born of me. No body exists independent of consciousness. No body exists without consciousness. No body is beyond the consciousness. It is just an appearance of the consciousness, that is my nature. Really speaking, I am Satyam, that is just a mithya. And therefore I have no connection to the mithya thing. Satyam cannot have any connection to mithya thing. Really speaking, whole body is me. Not just one body, body of a Swami, but my body and the other's body also, neighbor's body. All bodies are just consciousness. They exist on account of consciousness. They cannot be without consciousness. We can't imagine the body without the consciousness. Body is, when you say automatically, consciousness is very much there. Consciousness lends the existence to the body. That's how I say body is. When the body is pervaded by consciousness, I say body is. There is a knowledge of the body, and the body is, I say. And therefore, you cannot imagine anybody, without consciousness. You cannot imagine any wave without water, whatever you do. In fact, before the birth of the wave, there is water. After the wave resolves, there is water. In between water, there is just water. Past water, present water, future water. Merely an appearance. Wave is an appearance. Same way, all these bodies, just appearances due to Maya. That's what we have seen. Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. Drupdrishya Viveka. Pull it here. Yeah, all names and forms. I am Brahman. They are all non-separate from me. Maya is non-separate. They all names and forms. Not just this body. All the bodies are non-separate from me. I lend existence to all of them. I am in all forms of bodies. I pervade all the bodies. I pervade all the minds. I pervade all intellects. I pervade all the pranas. I pervade all the cells of every